Hey guys, back with another video. I'm gonna be doing my manga vlog, or not vlog, my wrap up for September. And as you can see, there's a ton of books to go through, so it's gonna be a little bit longer video. So if you watch all the way through, I really appreciate it. If not, you don't want to watch a longer video, I'll see you guys in the next one. But let's get right into it. Okay, so let me just preface the video by saying this isn't all the manga I've read in September. It's just that I haven't been making videos the past month or two, so I'm kind of just gonna use this video to update you on everything I've been reading the past few months. So this one will definitely be longer than most of them. I'm gonna try and keep it as short as possible, but yeah, that's why you saw so many volumes. That wasn't even all of them, so yeah, let's just hop right into it. So the first series that I read, which I read probably a month or two ago by now, is My Hero Academia. I got volumes 18, 19 that I read through in the past few months. I went on a big binge of buying this and just splurging and just going all out on it. I went from like volume 5 to 19 in like a month. But or not 19, 17, my fault. But after I got there, I kind of started to slow down because I wanted to pick up other series, which one of them you'll see in this video, and two of them actually. So I kind of slowed down my progression on this, but I kind of did it intentionally because I'm pretty sure only up until volume 25 is out right now. So I'm really not in a huge rush to pick it up right now because I can get caught up basically whenever I want to. Another big factor in me not buying more after I got to volume 19 is because honestly it was like so much hype, like it was hype and it just kept raising and raising every volume, and it was so crazy that I just wanted to keep reading because I just kept wondering what was going to happen next. But volume 19 is like kind of reminds me of like filler in anime. Like they're kind of just setting up for a festival and doing like regular school stuff, which it's cool to get a break from the action every now and then, but I don't know. That was my favorite part, so I'm still enjoying it, but it's definitely not as high on a priority list as it was when all the action was going on, so that's why you only see me reading two. Next up is a series that I've had for a little bit, but I finally decided to sit down and read it, and that is Fire Force. As you saw in my manga haul for this month, I just recently got these two volumes. So once I got four, I decided it was a good time to start reading it. That's typically how I like to begin series. I usually don't like just volume 1. I usually want a big heap of it to kind of just sink my teeth into. So yeah, Fire Force, if you don't know, is written by the same mangaka as Soul Eater, which is a series that was very popular a few years ago. It is now done. There was an anime and everything adapted from it. And Fire Force also has an anime which I heard is really good. You'll have to let me know in the comments if you've watched it. But yeah, it's very similar to Soul Eater, not in the story aspects, but more just the great characters. That's what I think the mangaka is very good at. The art style is pretty unique. I'll actually throw in a clip here of some of the artwork that you guys can see, because it's very different, but it's also pretty simplistic, which is pretty impressive. That it's able to maintain simplicity, but still convey like motion and stuff well. But the main draw of this mangaka is just the characters that are involved in the story. I don't know how they do it, but the characters are just so well developed in their mangas that it's honestly the factor that made me want to get this series to begin with. So yeah, Fire Force is really good. It is ending soon, which is unfortunate, but I'm definitely going to still be picking it up. Next up is a series that I basically picked up a bunch of it while it was on sale and began reading it the past few months, and that is Demon Slayer 1 to 10. So yeah, the reason I decided to start reading Demon Slayer wasn't really... I was interested in the story, but I took like a hiatus from like the manga scene and like reading in general. And when I came back, the first thing I heard was that a series was outselling One Piece at one point. It was on the verge of cancellation, and basically the anime saved it. So that's Demon Slayer, and I decided to check it out just to see if it was as good as people say it is, because there was a lot of hype around it. Saw a lot of people saying it's their favorite manga ever, which okay, I guess there's worse options, but I don't know how I feel about the series, honestly. Because on one hand, the action scenes and the fighting are really well done, and the characters are pretty okay. They're kind of just average. I wouldn't say they're anything spectacular. I don't know if that's like a hot take or anything, but the series is, I'd say, a little bit above average. I wouldn't say it's #1 manga material, but to each their own, I guess. One issue I do have with the series, though, because I watched the anime before I read some of the manga, the artwork in the manga, no offense to the mangaka, is so much worse than the anime that it kind of just takes away from the series. It's really choppy. It kind of reminds me of when Hunter x Hunter, when the manga was basically in and out of hiatus on that series, his artwork started to really slack near the most recent volumes, and that's kind of what this whole series reminds me of, which I'm not a huge fan of. It's definitely more detailed than the Hunter x Hunter volumes I was talking about, but it still kind of reminds me of it, and it's not a good thing. But yeah, the story in general, I kind of, if anyone read Naruto, as far as I am right now, it really reminds me of, like, the tuning exams, but only for like 10 pages, which was really weird. And it also reminds me of the whole hunting the Akatsuki arc, because that's basically all he's doing right now. He's trying to find one man and basically trying to save someone. And besides that, the series is pretty decent. It's not terrible. Like I said though, there's like, it's not really a spoiler because it's in the beginning, but you basically have to become a demon slayer, and it's basically like an exam you have to take, and there's like a whole build up to it, like a whole training montage, and then you don't even get to see the actual exam. You get a flashback to it later on, but that's about it. And it kind of made it feel like the first two volumes are kind of pointless, but I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep picking it up or not. I kind of want to see what I hear about it from other people who are further, but I'll get back to you when I figure it out. And next up is a series that took up a lot of my time over the past month or two, and that is Slam Dunk. I have up from 21 to 31 here. I feel like I read more than this, but I wasn't sure, so I just only pulled 10 out, but it was definitely at least 10. So yeah, if you saw my manga haul video, you heard me praising the series. I really think it's a spectacular series that deserves a lot more spotlight because it is a fantastic manga, both in the story and the artwork. Takehiko Inoue just never fails. Like, honestly, I don't think I've read a work by him that I've ever said was flat out not good. Every series he does is pretty good, no matter which one you get. They're all going to be pretty spectacular. But yeah, up to 31 is actually where the series ends, so now I've read the whole entire collection or series, I guess. So yeah, the story is great, honestly. I really thought the story was way better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a pretty, not basic sports manga, but way better than I thought it was going to be. The last volume of it I actually read like at least 3 or 4 times. It was one of my favorite volumes of manga I think I have in my entire collection. But I'm going to do a whole series review of it. I'm just kind of working on it slowly right now because honestly the series means a lot to me and I want to make sure I do the series justice with a proper and like well put together review. So that video is probably going to take a week or two because I want to make sure it's good, but the video will definitely be coming out, so if you want to see my opinions on it, just hold out for that video. But I'll also say, with the manga, if you're reading it after reading another one of his works, one of his seinen mangas I'm more referring to, it might be a little bit jarring because he takes on a real like shonen style of artwork in this manga, which isn't typical of Takehiko Inoue. But the thing that really is spectacular about Slam Dunk is when there's like big moments in like a basketball game or something like that, he'll like crank the artwork up to like the vagabond level, and it kind of just blows you away because you're so used to flipping through shonen art, and then there's just like a masterpiece of artwork on the page. It's really nice. The whole series as a whole though is very good. Highly recommend it. If you're into sports at all, or just like want to read something different, Slam Dunk is honestly one of my favorite series now currently. So moving on from Takiko Inoue, the next series that I continued reading is Wave the Immortal. I read the third omnibus here. In my previous manga wrap-up, I read the first two omnibuses, so I just read this one just to get a little bit further into the series. And if you saw my last wrap-up video, you might have remembered me saying that I wasn't really a fan of it. All the fighting basically just came down to the main character being immortal. That's how he won. And honestly, the third omnibus basically fixes all those problems for me. Instead of just going around killing random people, there's an actual like story to it. There's barriers stopping the characters from progressing to where they need to go outside of just random samurai that they have to fight. Yeah, the series made a huge improvement. I was kind of getting upset because I've been excited to read the series for so long and I wasn't liking it. But yeah, the series is definitely improving from where I'm at right now. The only complaint I really had with this one is I started to notice that the mangaka tends to draw a lot of the female characters in a very like similar fashion, so I kind of get the characters mixed up a lot, the female characters specifically. But I don't know if that's just me or if you guys feel that too, but I noticed that a few times as I was reading this volume. The manga, though, really reminds me of, it has a very vagabond style to it. The artwork is a lot more crude, but it's still not crude in a bad way, but like a lot more sharper edges and things of that nature. It really reminds me, like, if I had to describe it to someone that was interested in it, I would say it's more of a vagabond, but a more like gritty and like bloody version of it. Because Vagabond, although it's a very bloody series, the artwork just makes it almost like a beautiful thing to read. Like the artwork in Vagabond honestly kind of takes away from the bloodiness that's in the series and kind of just makes it look amazing. Like, you can sit there and stare at a landscape for 5 minutes. I've definitely done it before. And the last thing that I've been reading is the Pokemon Adventures Collector's Edition. I am that far in, and honestly, it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I don't know how many of you guys have played the original Pokemon games, but if you have, you know the story is very basic and basically non-existent, to be honest. And I was kind of worried about that going into the manga because I thought the story was going to be really simple too. However, I was glad to see that the story definitely didn't follow the same tracks as the game version of it does, because this isn't spoilers because you find out pretty early on this stuff, but you find out that all the gym leaders are basically like working under Team Rocket, and Team Rocket actually like feels like a gang, like they're doing terrible things. Pokemon like actually die in the manga. Like, it's kind of gritty for a Pokemon series, to be honest. It's pretty cool to read. If you're a Pokemon fan, I would definitely recommend reading it because I think it's a great series to read if you've been playing the series for this many years. But honestly, if you're not a Pokemon fan, I think you could skip it. And last off in this video, I'm going to do something at the end of each of these videos where I'm going to show 2 series that are on like top of my priority list to read going into the next month, so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm going to be reading this next month. The 2 series that I'm really focused on for next month is Solanin, because I have yet to read any works by Inoue Asano, Inoue Asano, and I kind of just want to get through one to see how it is, because if I enjoy it, I want to start picking up more of his works. So this is definitely high on the priority list, and it's just a one-shot, so it won't take too long to read. And second series that I'd like to start reading is actually Monster. If you've been keeping up with my manga hauls, you know that I actually have the complete series. I have all 9 omnibuses, but I knew the basic synopsis of the series, and I knew it was going to be one of those series I wanted to binge through. Kind of made me think of like a Death Note, and when I read that, I basically just kept buying volumes after volume because I want to see what happened next. And I feel like that's going to happen in this too, so I decided to hold off on the temptation to read it until I had them all. But now I do, so I'm going to start reading it this month. So yeah, that's everything I read in the month of September and the prior month because I wasn't able to make a wrap-up video that month. If you are also reading any of these series, let me know in the comments what you're thinking, what you think of them. And if you're reading Demon Slayer and you're further than me, if you can let me know in the comments if it gets better or how the story actually works after that, that'd be great. I'd love to hear it. And yeah, if you want to see more manga wrap-up videos like this, or the haul videos where you get to see early the series I'm buying, just subscribe down below. I'm going to be trying to be posting 2 to 3 videos a week. Fingers crossed that I can keep up with that. But yeah, I will see you guys next time, and peace out.